Laura Rana is gifted. At an early age, she developed a love for animals and a passion for pursuing a career in veterinary medicine. But like many schools in Texas, the resources at her school were insufficient to help foster her interest in the field. Like underserved populations, gifted kids like Laura have special needs, and there's a severe lack of state resources available to meet them. Last year, estimates placed the state education funding of gifted and talented education at just 1/3 of 1%. Now, you must be asking, how can gifted and talented kids be underserved? After all, they're the ones who do well in school, but doing well in school doesn't necessarily define being gifted. There's many different ways that giftedness can be defined and manifested. And tonight, we're going to highlight three that we as practitioners, educators, and parents should truly nurture in this special population of kids so that they can become the intellectually minded, passionate, accelerated creative thinkers that they truly are. First and foremost, conventional notion of gifted and talented uses intellectual achievement, academic aptitude, or other type measures to identify gifted and talented. Classroom achievement scores, STAR tests, and other empirical evidence that subscribes to the notion that being gifted means that you are academically minded. Well, while that's true for high-achieving kids, it's not necessarily true for gifted and talented. They often possess cognitive abilities that can't be captured or quantified using these standard measures. We call those overexcitabilities, and it reflects a pattern of response that deviates from the norm. So instead of studying for an exam and cramming in the who, what, and when, these kids ask probing questions, the whys and the what ifs. They challenge assumptions and often have a passion for learning that extends beyond the classroom. This is what brought Laura to Texas A&M to attend the Youth Adventure Program that I run through the Department of Educational Psychology. The Youth Adventure Program, or YAP, is a career exploration summer camp in which gifted, talented, highly creative students come in and take a course from a university professor that gives them hands-on, immersive opportunities to explore a career field of interest. Even though this was over 15 years ago, Laura noted that this was a defining moment, one that allowed her to feel and experience things that would prepare her for later on in life, but also an experience that put her in an environment where for the first time she truly felt that it was okay to be different. With different in mind, gifted kids can be a little out of sync in their development. Frankly put, their cognitive abilities can outpace those of their peers. So as a reason, some of these kids might have difficulty in making friends or having connections with age-based peers. Therefore, our camp serves as an outlet for the special population of student. We fuel their intellect while at the same time enhancing their social skills. For the first time, they're with like-minded peers in an environment where it's cool to be smart. Collegiality and cooperation replace the high-stakes competition, pressure, and expectations these kids can have thrust upon them, or that they thrust upon themselves. In seeking to measure the impact that attending a camp like this has, I sought to measure the positive youth development outcomes associated with attending YAP. What we found, even though these kids were here for just 1 week, we saw significant gains in friendship skills, problem-solving confidence, personal competence, and teamwork ability. This gets me to the last point that I wanted to cover tonight, that of creative thinking, a hallmark of being gifted and talented. Now, to do that, I want to put you inside the mind of a gifted and talented student. Over the next 5 seconds, I want you to silently, without communicating or collaborating, look around the room and see if you can find something in this room that no one else can see that is square or has an edge. Ready? Go. Okay, now stop. Now, with edge in mind, you high-achieving people probably want to raise your hand and give the answer, but instead of asking things that were square and edge, what if I flipped the question and asked you to name something that was circular or rounded? How many things did you eliminate from your focus based off that problem or prompt? This is where gifted and talented kids excel. They are problem finders, not necessarily problem solvers. They think outside the square. Oftentimes, they find new tactics or information to solve problems that other people don't think of and use information that others consider extraneous or irrelevant. You see, creative thinking, like all the other things we've talked about tonight, is evident in the life of Dr. Laura Rana. You see, Laura went on to attend Texas A&M, get her doctorate in veterinary medicine, and now owns and operates her private clinic in Houston, Texas. She succeeded in the field because of her gifts and talents. She is driven in her examinations and detailed in her diagnoses, and has saved countless numbers of lives, oftentimes finding things that other veterinarians miss. You see, YAP serves a great need, not only in bringing bright young scholars here to Texas A&M, but also picking up where school districts leave off, fostering the intellectual, social, and emotional needs of this special population of student. You see, there are countless numbers of success stories like Laura of extremely bright, extraordinary students who have come through our program. And the impact of their gifts and talents is that they're going to be the ones who will put their skills and abilities into industry and revolutionize the world in which we all live. Thank you.